Okay, so today we have Morrissey and the future when all's well for Morrissey Friday. Of course, it's Morrissey and it happens on a Friday. So this is a video that I saw. It was the first, thing that came up, and I thought, okay, well, I'll watch the video. Why not? So anyway, let's get into this today. Talk about it after. See what Morrissey does with this kind of title. In the future when all's well. My goodness gracious. Let's go.
E adesso Morrissey canterà per noi un'altra canzone.
Yeah. Baseline is big.
Armed with wealth and the best of health in the future when all's well. I will lie down and be counted in the future when all's well. What you are afraid of in the future when all's well. Every day I play a sad game called in the future when all's well. Living longer than I had intended, something must have gone right. I thank you with all of my heart. I thank you. Stand up and defend me in the future when all's well. Confront what you are afraid of in the future when all's well. Hold me closely if your will allows it in the future when all's well. Head of port till I can barely stand it. The future is ended by a long, long sleep. The future is ended by a long, long sleep. The future is ended by a
All right. Okay, Morrissey, my goodness gracious, go off. So there it is, in the future when all's well, from Moz himself. My gosh, I have to say at the top, and this is going to sound, dumb and kind of dull to say. But this is one of his, his vocal performance here, is so good. I mean, I just love how he fluctuates, from, obviously he's a baritone, and, through so many Morrissey tracks and, reviews or whatever I've done, yeah, he's a baritone. I mean, I think we all know that, but, he can always go to that higher register here, and I just love his, he goes back and forth, and he, obviously at the end there, I didn't expect him to, go so high again, and how, it says sleep or whatever is the last word, and it's just like, Jesus, okay, Morrissey, like I said, it's just like, go off. I mean, holy moly. So yeah, I just really enjoyed his vocal performance here. And also, with the video, the band, they all look cool, I gotta say, the sunglasses on there, the great guitar solo, obviously, like I said, the unmissable bass there during the song, just, monstrous, and also, I was gonna say Morrissey again, but yeah, his vocals, just overall of that, it's such a rocking tune, I have to say. Again, this one from Ringleader of the Tormentors, and, again, for his voice, back then, I guess, 2006, he would have been like, he was born in 60, I think it was. So he was, mid 40s or whatever, like 46 or whatever in 2006. So I mean, yeah, to still have a voice like that at that age. And even today, he still has a bold voice. His voice is, always been there. I mean, my God. But anyway, that's what I really took from this. His voice was so goddamn good. My gosh. Anyway, and I also have to say the backing vocals on here were very good too. All I see here on backing vocals, it says Alan White from the personnel. It doesn't show anyone else on backing vocals, just Alan. So maybe it's just only Alan doing that. But either way, like I said, really enjoyed the rest of the band here. They were really, working for the paycheck here. My goodness gracious. And I'm kind of, conflicted here with what the song seems to be about. I guess I'll go to genius.com, and of course there is a little about here. It's not much. It's just, in the future, when all's well was released as the third single off of Ringleader of the Tormentors. It was the fifth track on the album, so there it is. And again, it was a single, so I mean, it was up, it was, getting some, I guess some traction or whatever. But anyway, when he, start right off the start, first verse, armed with wealth and good health, the best of health in the future when all's well. So we're at the, when the future, and you're thinking about the future when in good health, and I have good wealth and all this stuff. I'm armed with wealth and good health, the best of health. I like, he kind of talks about that again. I want the best of that. I will lie down and be counted in the future when all is well. And the chorus here, of course, my goodness. I thank you with all of my heart. I thank you. And he sings it so passionately too, delivers it so greatly. I thank you with all of my heart. Lee, I don't know who Lee is here. I did see, there is like, some pages I'm on here, Morrissey's song meanings and such. And I did see somebody say maybe it's Bruce Lee, but I don't know why I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, I just saw that and I was just like, I don't know, Bruce Lee, okay. Anyway, Lee, please stand up and defend me, but I don't think Bruce Lee, I don't know why. But anyway, I just thought that, kind of was interesting. In the future, when all's well, confront, and I like how he says confront, or whatever, the way he pronounced confront, what you are afraid of in the future when all's well. And then we go on again with the second verse. Every day I play a sad game called In the Future When All's Well. So it seems like, especially here in the second verse, there's a little bit of humor coming through, some sarcasm. Living longer than I had intended, something must have gone right. It's just like, well, that's a change. Usually stuff goes wrong. And then you have the chorus once again. And then the last verse. Third one, hold me closely if your will allows it. In the future when all's well, paired off, pod till I can barely stand it. The future is ended by a long sleep. The future is ended by a long sleep. The future is ended by a long sleep. And I mean, that makes me think of the Socrates quote, I think it is, which I'm going to butcher whatever, but something about, death is just a long sleep or whatever. I think it was Socrates. I mean, my God, I took philosophy, but I can't remember a goddamn thing. But anyway, and how he talks about, I guess, death at the end is what really comes to mind. I mean, yeah, the future is in the future, you're going to die. I mean, yeah, that's a given. But also it just seems here, if Morrissey is talking about, if when he dies specifically, if he's talking to us, the fans, if he's talking to, his fans saying, I thank you for everything, all this stuff. Please remember me. Please don't forget me. Please defend me. All this stuff, that comes to mind, is Morrissey talking to us and, being like, he's kind of scared that he's not going to get the credit he deserves or whatever. Some people are going to call him an idiot and, just forget about him, whatever. And it seems like, he's just, he's really hoping, some people, some of his fans, family, friends, whatever, remember him nicely or whatever. So that comes to mind. But also, it seems like, like I said with the second verse where it seems like there's some sarcasm, it's just like, is the whole song sarcastic? Is, because there's always the thing, when, I don't know, I think of procrastination, whatever, where it's just like, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll, in the future, it'll be better, whatever, I'll do this or that, whatever. It's just like, but at the same time, it's just like, you're kind of fooling yourself, because it's just like, why not do that thing now, kind of thing. And I feel like I'm getting deep into the weeds here, but I mean, it's just like, because some people, see it as a positive thing, where it's just, talking about Morrissey, talking again about, people trying to remember him for all, for good or whatever, he's telling his fans, please remember me for that. But again, it seems like, because he talks about the sad game here in the lyrics, every day I play a sad game, talking about in the future when all's well. And it's just like, you kind of fool yourself into thinking that the future will be better than the present. And it's just like, but usually it doesn't work out like that. And it's just, and as, it goes on here, that message of, stop fooling yourself, and stop living for the future, live in the present, live in the now, and, maybe your future will be better. I feel like I'm saying future so many times. I mean, my God. But yeah, it's just like, so that's what I really came to mind. I have, I got some thoughts, and I was really, trying to get them out there. Cause yeah, it's just like, I don't want to lose them. So yeah, hopefully that all made sense right off the bat. But anyway, yeah, so I guess, if you, want to comment down below, whatever, what you think he's talking about here. If he's being sarcastic, if he's talking about himself, I mean, if he's talking about somebody else, maybe, I don't know. If he's talking about Bruce Lee, like somebody suggested. But either way, I do know that he looked very dapper in this video. Everyone, like I said, the whole band just looked kind of cool. I mean, Morrissey, front and center. Honestly, what came to mind because of just the way it's kind of set up, and I guess, kind of the yellow and stuff. As a Doors fan, of course, with Jim behind me, I was thinking of their Ed Sullivan appearance in 1967 when they did Light My Fire, and kind of the band is just behind, Ray and John and Robbie, and then of course Jim is up front, and here, I don't know, it's not, I don't think they took anything from that, because there's been so many people that have done, performances like that and the setup like that, but that's just what came to mind as a big Doors fan, and where Morrissey was just front and center, and then the band's kind of behind them on, some steps or whatever, yeah, that just came to my head, where that same kind of dichotomy of, Jim up front and, Morrissey up front and the band behind them, doing a performance, of course, and of course the Doors were then banned from Ed Sullivan because Jim said higher. But anyway, I guess all that said, this was, like I said, a great song, bombastic bass line. I really enjoyed his vocal performance here. It was just, I can't say it enough. Because again, sometimes Morrissey, he's sounds depressing sometimes, and that really works for the song or whatever. Sometimes he's just, he's very bold and all this stuff. Sometimes he doesn't, fluctuate his voice a lot in the song. But here he was just, all over the place, and I just loved his vocal freaking, chops on this one. So anyway, all that said, hopefully, you got that clear. Like I said, about, is he being sarcastic or not? But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to finally go now because I am sick. And of course I got a 14-minute video here. My God, I always try to make them a little shorter because I don't want them to be too long. But then of course I babble on like I am now. But thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.